All right. Exciting to welcome everybody to our webinar, but really excited to have everybody joining us at our state conference. So, Kathy, I think you're going to kick us off talking about the logistics that everybody
All
needs
right.
to know as they're driving in or coming in.
All right. Our conference hotel is the Kansas City Marriott at Country Club Plaza. Their parking is included in your stay, so as long as you self-park, valet parking is not. All of our sessions will be held there. We have our room block is full, so anybody else can stay at the MC Suites. It's 0.3 miles, I think, according to Google, from the hotel where the conference is.
I'm the resident
And
Kansas City person, so I'm going to say it's actually a nice walk. You see
Mhm.
the space between 1 and 2. That's a beautiful park there. And so it would be a nice walk to the hotel to if you're staying at the Embassy Suites to come to the Marriott.
and there is construction going on in front
Hmm.
of the hotel for the streetcar.
Yay!
There's going to be lots of construction going around, so be careful of that when you come or driving around. Once you're in the hotel and the conference starts, our sessions, the main session, the opening, closing, and general sessions, the exhibit hall, and the food and beverage are all going to be in the grand ballroom with the exhibit hall going out into the grand ballroom foyer. The registration's going to be in the Main Street Grill foyer area. Our rooms for our sessions are the Seville 1 and 2, the Grand Ballroom, Roanoke, Rock Hill. So those are where you'll find all the sessions and everything. And Southmoreland also, which I think was on the previous map. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. And one is where the lobby is.
And all the
So,
tours and event loading will come out of the lobby. We'll meet in the lobby, kind of going back to what Kathy said with construction going on the street in front of us. We'll meet in the lobby and then we'll have volunteers guiding you to where the bus is, which will be at 45th and Main, but we'll have folks that'll help get you there. But that's our meeting point.
yeah. And it's just to the left when you walk out the front door. So, I mean, you don't have to walk far for the
Right,
buses.
right. And there's sidewalks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those that have been at our conference before, or those that have been to conferences inside hotels, large hotels, this is a smaller property. That's why we had to add another classroom because of registrations and knowing how many people can fit in each classroom. So we have more classes going on simultaneously. But it is going to be a close hotel. So you're not going to be wondering, where is everybody
Mhm.
at? And it's not going to be hard to get around. We've been in properties before, and I'm sure you have in other conferences that it's like, where do I go? You're not going to feel that here, but we will still have volunteers stationed around to help you, guide you, etc.
We'll have signage out too. So,
Right,
okay.
right.
Is anything I missed?
The next point, which we'll get to, you can see on your screen, registration area is going to be in the Main Street Grill foyer, number 4 on the map, and that leads into where you will get to listen to me talk for a little bit. As the registration guru, you've got a lot of emails from me about getting registered for the events. You can still email me if you have any questions about your registration, but on site, you'll want to go to the second floor, which on the screen you can see the stairs will go up. That's directly from the lobby. So you'll come in to the lobby, go up these stairs, and then you'll see me, Stacy, some volunteers that can help you get your registration material and your goodie bag. So when you arrive at the conference, you can get your name badge, lanyard, program, all the inserts. If you've purchased any event tickets, they will be included in your lanyard, and of course, the promotional items from our sponsors. There is also an elevator to take you from the lobby to the second floor if you need that. Registration hours. So on Tuesday, it's going to be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday, 7:30 to 5, and then Thursday, 7:30 to 4. So within those times, stop by, say hi, pick up anything you need, ask questions. We do recommend you buy any of your event tickets you think you will still need now before the 18th. The prices will be doubled for all of our events. But if you do still forget or last second want to add one, we will be available during those times to add any additional tickets. Do know that none of the events you can buy tickets when you arrive at the event. You do have to buy them from the registration area.
Before we move on, there's a question, Kathy, about parking at the Embassy Suites. Is that included in their stay? Is that an additional charge?
It is an additional charge of $8
Okay, and that's
at
self-park?
Embassy Suites,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
But it's
And
a reduction from 26, so you're getting a deal.
oh, it's okay, great. And then if they do drive from the Embassy to the Marriott, they can still park for free. Is that correct?
Correct. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. If you're driving and not staying at the hotel, you can go to the registration desk and we'll have some parking passes for those people.
And even for those folks that are driving in that maybe live in the Kansas
Yeah,
City region, they would do the same thing.
correct.
That aren't
Anybody not
staying.
staying at the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Next, we're going to move on to our conference experiences. The Main Street Clinic is an excellent experience for you guys to participate in. It will be located in the Grand Ballroom foyer. Of course, we'll have a lot of our exhibitors and we'll be utilizing this space. But you can see in the picture on the screen, this is kind of the bare bones of what it will look like before we add all of our fun stuff to it. You can, again, take the stairs to the second floor or the elevator. Our board and committee members are eagerly awaiting to assist you with any question about Main Street related topics, historic preservation, a building, roof, anything Main Street related. Feel free to come by. No appointment needed, so it's just drop on by and chat with them. Their hours are mainly during breakfast, the beverage breaks, lunch, and then the rest of the breaks. So it will be mainly Wednesday and Thursday. I will not read every single time slot, but you can see on the screen. You don't want me to rattle all that off this early. So I'll just pause briefly so you can look at the times that you can stop by.
You need to stop by if you have questions. They're really excited. They're always grateful when people ask questions. You know, we as Main Streeters, we have them. Even how to work with boards. They're board members. Some of them are board members of a local board, Main Street board. Some of them aren't, but they can answer just all kinds of questions. So be sure to do that. And we're also have a prescription for you when you do stop by to help you during your time here at the conference. So you'll want to receive one of those. So you'll want to stop by.
And we have our outreach committee and our historic preservation committee members helping man that booth. So there'll be people there if you have building questions. Like Gayla said, you have board questions. Board members have questions about staff or, you know, any 4-point question you have or administrative board related things. There'll be someone there. And if not, if they can't answer your question, we'll certainly find some resources and we can follow up later. But it's always a great group of folks that are willing to help, and they'd love to see you and talk to you.
The next thing you'll want to stop by is our exhibit hall. So that is located in the Grand Ballroom foyer and in the Grand Ballroom. We have so many exhibitors who want to get to know you that we had to not only take up some of the space in the Grand Ballroom as planned, but they bled out into the foyer. So there's plenty of people to network with on the exhibitor side to get to know. Those times are on the screen on Wednesday and Thursday. Do know on Thursday you want to be present between 9:30 and 10:30. And I
That
see
should
one
be
thing
AM.
that we should have changed. It's AM, not PM. During that time on Thursday, we'll be doing the Evening of Excellence.
Yeah.
So make sure to be there at 9:30 AM to 10:30 AM for the exhibitors giveaway. We have a lot of exhibitors who are willing to give away some really fun prizes. Some AirPods and some other things they do, like their services, some free consultations. So some really good benefits that the exhibitors are giving away to you guys.
Always fun stuff there.
There sure is.
The Main Street Five and Dime is going to be in the Grand Ballroom. Pick out the perfect gift for yourself or a loved one. And the raffle tickets can be purchased at any time at the Main Street Five and Dime or from a board member. We'll have board members walking around that you can pay cash or through a QR code. And then the Main Street Five and Dime, here are the hours. It is open on Tuesday, 1 to 5, and then Wednesday and Thursday, of course, throughout the time of the conference.
Yeah, as you're checking in on Tuesday, go stop by the Five and Dime, scope out what you're looking for, because some items are limited. But be sure and visit them. I love that T-shirt.
It's our new one this year. We should have all wore it today. One thing I wanted to go back to, Logan talked about getting your all's tickets early because they do double after you get on site, but we are running low on some tickets. One of the tours is already sold out. So I wouldn't wait to get your tickets because we do have a maximum of all of our events, even including the Evening of Excellence and the Bower. There's a maximum that we can take in. And so we're getting closer and closer to that maximum number. So if you haven't purchased tickets, you need to do that. All right. Are we ready for me to take over, Logan?
Yes.
We kind of,
Do you want to mention the community nook?
Yes. Yeah. So at the conference throughout, we're going to be doing a raffle like we normally do. And last year was the big chair that went home to its home in Del Mar. This year we're doing a community nook. This community nook is a 2-story historic building made model size, okay? But it won't blow over. My husband's building it. I couldn't help him lift it the other day, so we had to put it on big casters so we can move this thing around. But it is going to be a 2-story building, and at the top story is a Main Street library, and then the bottom floor is a pantry. So really it's going to be really fun to be able to win this and take it home. But we also have lots of other prizes. If you are not the big prize winner, we have lots of other prizes that are placemaking prizes as well. But it'll be exciting to get that there, and you guys can see it and be able to buy tickets for it. So the raffle tickets are $10 per ticket or 3 for $25.
Okay, for those of you that have come to the conference in the past and those of you that are new, take this opportunity to also explore some of the areas in our host city in Kansas City. It's always good to go out and see what other folks are doing. I have been living in the Kansas City area for about 20 years now, and so have seen some wonderful, cool things happening in the city with redevelopment, starting with number 1 up there, the Power and Light District that's in downtown. So if you attended the conference that we've done at the Kansas City downtown Marriott, we were very close to the Power and Light District. But that area has really seen a cool resurgence, lots of restaurants and bars that are in that area. Unfortunately, as Kathy said, there's construction in front of our hotel, which is the streetcar, which again, if you've attended our other conferences in Kansas City, the streetcar downtown really helps in getting around to various places in the downtown district. Well, they're extending it all the way down to the Country Club Plaza and onto the University of Missouri, Kansas City. That's being done. It won't open till next year, unfortunately. So we can't take advantage of the streetcar this year for the conference to get around. So there are 2 places closer to the hotel that are a little more in walking distance, and that's Westport. Westport is the oldest area in Kansas City. So a lot of cool shops and restaurants and bars in that area. Has also kind of undergone a resurgence recently. Unfortunately, it's lost some of its retail, but it's gained more restaurants. And so it's kind of becoming a food and music destination. So that could be places to go in the evening after the conference is done. Although we occupy the majority of your time with receptions and things like that. But there are some times to go explore.
The after hours location can be at Westport.
Yeah, particularly Tuesday night. And then, of course, the Country Club Plaza, number 3. Those of you that are in the Kansas City area are very familiar with this area. Those of you that are not, it is the first outdoor shopping center that was ever built. It's built in a Spanish architectural style. Is really just a cool place to go walk around. So there is a lot of retail in that space, again, along with restaurants and bar opportunities. All of those are very walkable. 2 and 3 are walkable from the hotel. 2 is a little further. 3 we are very close to. 1 you would need to take an Uber or drive to get to the Power and Light District, but some fun places to explore.
Okay, so we're going to go to day one, Tuesday. So first of all, we're going to kick off Tuesday with the Main Street Directors Meeting. And so the directors meeting is our local directors in our communities that are invited. It's invitation only. It is only for directors. And then at the same time, we have the support staff meeting, which of course is our local Main Street programs. And if they have any staff, support staff that are paid, that meeting is for them. So that is 11 to 2. The directors and the support staff meeting, we will feed you lunch during that time. The directors and the support staff will have lunch together. We will talk about some things that everybody needs to hear about, and then we will move into having the directors in one location and the support staff in another. So looking forward to, we have some new directors, and so looking forward to being able to just absorb and be part of that network and grow this family, because you guys, it is a family.
I want to clarify, I had some questions yesterday from a Main Street program. These are executive directors, not board of directors. So these are executive directors and support staff. So the paid staff people for Main Street programs that have paid staff. I just want to make that clarification.
And then the next thing is going to be at 10 o'clock. And actually, it starts a little bit before our directors and support staff meeting. The Urban Maine session will start at 10 o'clock to 11:30. So a little bit of overlap here. But the Urban Maine Forum is really where we're going to have the districts of St. Louis showcase what they have been working on and what they've been doing since we started the pilot program there. And hopefully showing it to a lot of other areas of Missouri that have urban districts with them as well. So not to miss that, because even if you're not an urban district, they have done some phenomenal work that you can come and listen and attend. And you know, I always say in Main Street, R&D, rip off and duplicate, because they have some amazing things that they're going to showcase no matter the size of your district or your community.
Yeah, and I want to throw in too, if you're attending the conference and you're from another urban area, maybe Springfield or Columbia, or maybe the suburbs of Kansas City or St. Louis, I think this would be a good session for you to come and attend. It's free. It's part of the conference registration if you're coming. If for some reason you're on this webinar and you're not attending the conference, you can still attend the Urban Forum for free. It's open. We've invited other folks in Kansas City, Springfield, and Columbia to attend this. But if you're on this webinar and part of that group of folks, this is open, like Gayla said, from 10 to 11:30.
All these times that we're talking about, you guys can find this on our website. Logan has put together a schedule at a glance within our website. So you guys don't have to remember any of these. Just go to our website afterwards to get the schedule. But then also something that I'm really happy about is that we're doing a deep dive, bringing down the barriers of historic preservation. And we've asked several people to come together and do this for you all, because, you know, there's the perception out there that, well, if it's under the National Register, I can't do anything to my building, or, you know, we have to keep this kind of, we have to put sprinklers throughout. And I mean, just all of these things that some of it's factual, sometimes some of it is not. And so it's really about bringing down those barriers to where you guys can completely understand how we can serve our communities and serve our property owners in rehabbing historic buildings. And so we have experts doing this. Karen Bodie Baxter is the sponsor of this session. But the exciting thing about it, as well as we have those that are doing tax credits, that knows how, you know, all the tax credit program works. SHPO is going, the State Historic Preservation Office, SHPO is going to be there at the end of the session to answer any questions. But it's going to be, as we've met with everyone and talked about this session, you know, bring it down to where we can understand. Don't talk up here and really make it where, you know, showing us projects that's gone through this and different ways that you all have met the standards and still done a historic building. And so it's going to be a really great session. So don't miss that session as well.
And we're going to have representatives from the State Historic Preservation Office there to help answer questions too. Okay, we talked a little bit about tours there on that first day, Tuesday, and when we talked about tickets, we do have one of the tours is sold out. Get my notes here. The Revival of Rhythm, the Artistic Pulse of Kansas City, is sold out. So we do have tickets still available for the Urban Renaissance, which is Kansas City's Housing Harmony. As you guys have seen from all of our marketing materials, housing is definitely a theme of this conference because we hear about it every community we're in about housing. And so we've put together a really cool tour. That first picture on the top there is one of the stops. It's in the historic Jazz Hill District in Kansas City. Our board member, Dana Gould, helped on this project and is the one who pointed us in this direction. So a developer is working through these colonnade apartment buildings and rehabbing them into new apartments and really doing a fantastic job. And so they're going to talk about how they've done that with that project. And then also a fun project in Westport is the 1908 Westport High School. They built a new high school, and so left this one abandoned. Many of us in our Main Street communities have scenarios like that. We've got a vacant school within our community or within our downtown district, and so they've renovated this Westport High School into 138 apartments, and so we'll get a tour of that and hear about the project and how that happened. Some of them are tax credits, so you'll hear a little bit about those pieces and parts, and can ask questions about financing. I know Gail and I have talked many times about board members who are developers go on these tours and learn how they can take this back and do it in their own community. And so if you have any developers or folks on your board of directors or volunteers, this might be a great tour for them to go on. And if they can't, you go on the tour and learn some of the ins and outs and share that with your developers in your own community. So we do still have 12 tickets available for the housing tour, and you can get those online. I'd encourage you to do that ahead of time because it probably will sell out, just like the other tour, and get that taken care of. And as we said earlier, you'll meet in the lobby for these. The tours are 2:30 to 5:30, and meet in the lobby at 2:15, and there'll be volunteers guiding you out to the buses to take those tours.
And then to conclude Tuesday, we have the Welcome Home evening opening reception. So that's going to be 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It is located in the hotel itself, the Kansas City Marriott Country Club Plaza Hotel, in the Grand Ballroom foyer. And we just ask that it's business attire, a business casual attire. We have some tasty appetizers, and you do get one drink ticket. After you use that drink ticket, it is a cash bar that is cash only. So if you want extra drinks, make sure to bring extra cash with you. It's going to be a fantastic evening. We have a lot of things planned to make it fun, not only for networking, but just to come together and enjoy historic preservation in a new, fun way. As you've seen in some of the things we've been doing for Preservation Month, and then since then, we did have the Welcome Home Doors contest. We have over 20 submissions that will be in the gallery that evening unveiled. And then throughout the conference, you can vote. So it's $1 per vote, and you'll be able to scan a QR code and assign and pay or buy votes for however many of the photos you want. Each photo will have an accompanying description about what that door means to the community, that person, or history in general. A lot of it plays on local history or even personal significance. So we're excited to showcase all of these doors and their history to everyone at the conference. The other component is our historic preservation architectural puzzle. So you see on the screen a couple snippets. You'll have a small little card you'll get, and on the back will be the instructions. I'm covering them up so you can't plan ahead of time how to do the game. But on the back, there'll be instructions on how to play, as well as all of us handing them out will also answer questions and kind of explain the game as you arrive. You will want to sign your name at the bottom because when you participate in the game and categorize the picture correctly after you find the match, you will be entered into a drawing. So we have a couple fun prizes for that, but you'll have to try and find your buddy that has the other half of the picture and then guess what architectural category it fits in. And it'll be fun. We'll have boards up. And so it's a little exercise on getting to know people, getting to know more about historic preservation that we really think you'll enjoy.
All right, so now we go, that's a full day, isn't it? Day one was a full day. So now we go to day two. The opening happened, well, let's talk about breakfast first. So breakfast starts at 7:30. 7:30 to 8:30 is breakfast, continental breakfast, and that's part of your registration. And then we're going to have our opening assembly then starts at 8:30. Bernice Rattle is going to be our keynote, and we're real excited, of course, about that as well. And it's creative incremental development strategies for Main Street. And so not only can she speak on this and help people do it, but she has been doing it in her life as well. So can come as a professional that's actually working in that space. So excited to have Bernice at our conference this year.
So Wednesday, day number 2, full day of sessions. So we kick off with that opening that Gayla mentioned, and I've heard Bernice speak a couple times. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Lots of energy, lots can-do type attitude. So I think you're going to enjoy that. All day sessions on Wednesday, like Gayla said, we did increase the number of sessions going on at per time period, just because we have more attendees and need to spread folks out a little bit more, just because it's harder to find a hotel these days as we keep growing. And so we have to be creative in how we can pack more information in to accommodate everyone that wants to attend. We've divided the sessions into various tracks just to give you a little bit of guidance. So with our theme of upper story development, housing, whatever that may be, dealing with upper stories, it's definitely an opportunity in many of our Main Street districts. So we've identified those. Of course, then the 4 points: organization, economic vitality, design, and promotion. And then always have a focus on historic preservation as that being one of the Main Street ethics. We are offering the International Economic Development Council credits, continuing education credits. Our conference has been designated as an opportunity for folks that have those credentials to use this as continuing education. So share that with folks you have in your community if you do have some economic development folks. But if you do have those credentials, you can use the conference as continuing education. And we'll send all of that information to IEDC after the conference of attendees.
All right, so we've had a full day of sessions. Now we're going to talk about the evening show me bash and pitch party. Beautiful location that we're having this. There's a story even behind the location. It's a historic building. It's going to be really, really exciting at J. Riggers. I'm not going to run it for you because I want you to just be all over this place and just absorb. But, you know, we had a list of places to go see. And of course, Keith kept saying, Gayla, it's going to be this one. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so expensive. Well,
it's one of my favorite places.
Oh my gosh. I mean, with our theme, it just makes sense. So here we go. But it is expensive. So enjoy it. You know, I mean, just take it all in. But this evening, those that have not been with us before, we do the pitch party. And so the pitch party is where we have previously been sending out over the few months for you all to sign up to do a project in your downtown, a placemaking project, and then you are able to pitch it at the Show Me Bash to all of the attendees that come that night. And the winners will be picked, and we have narrowed it down. The judges has already narrowed it down that we have 3 semifinalists right now. That's Excelsior Springs, Carrollton, and Brookfield. And so you all are going to see a pitch from these 3 communities to win $10,000 to implement this project in their community. So that's going to happen first, pretty quickly. And then we're going to go into having a buffet, and then you guys can just enjoy. Again, this location, make for sure to take a ride down the slide, go outside, experience the venues that they even have outside of the building. And for sure absorb the history of the building, because it has quite a history, and it's gone back to its original, what it was originally built for. And we're there enjoying it like, you know, people did many years ago as they made great spirits in this building.
And use the slide on your way out.
Oh, only on your way out? Come on. So it's going to be great fun. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. We're going to meet in the lobby at 5:45, and then we're going to walk over, get on the buses. The last bus leaves at 9 o'clock. So if you're not on that bus, you're going to be calling Uber or a friend to come and pick you up. But the last bus will leave at 9 o'clock. We will meet at the hotel at 5:45 and start loading. Okay. And we do still have tickets for that.
On Thursday, our opening, or not opening, our general session is going to be Rachel Senzi. She is with the city of Jefferson City. She's going to be talking about harmonizing historic preservation and housing. So she has done it. We found an article about her in MML, I believe it was, and was so
Missouri Municipal
fascinating.
League. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
It was fascinating. So we asked her if she could come speak to y'all.
Well, and when I
And
called her to talk about this, to ask her, she told me the whole story. Those of you that know the tornado that went through central Missouri, it skirted to the right, to the east of downtown, and it's a residential district. And as they started figuring out how to help the people that had houses in that area, they uncovered a whole bunch of other problems, issues, opportunities that they need to look for in relation to housing. And it just turned into a community-wide and actually bigger than the city limits of Jefferson City, to study their housing and how do we make this happen? How do we make sure that there's housing for the folks within our community, people that want to move here? And so it's a very interesting story and an evolution that I think you all will enjoy to hear about.
And with that, how she packaged all of these different programs, I think is really the things that we need to take home is, you know, you can't do this with one incentive program. It was layering all these different programs that made it work.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really, really great session. Looking forward to it. And she's also a CMO graduate. Another CMO graduate.
we have lots of those.
Yeah, we do.
And then for the closing session, it's going to be Randy Wilson, which some of you are probably familiar with Randy, but he's going to be talking about what would you do? So after you leave the conference and you go home, how do you use all the information that you absorbed during the conference to go to the next steps and do whatever you need to do in your community? So that should be very interesting too. Anything else?
Our closing session is sponsored by Thompson & Coburn.
We already mentioned this earlier under that exhibit time. This one it does show AM, so 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Will be that exhibitor drawing on Thursday, day 3, located in the Grand Ballroom. As we mentioned, there's just the vendors bring some great prizes to give away. So be sure and visit them. And then be sure and be present there 9:30 to 10:30. And we'll have some beverages in there also during that time period, kind of a break in between the opening and when the sessions start on day 3 as we're winding down with the 3rd day.
All right. Wonderful conference. Now we get to showcase great projects that's happened across our state this last year. The Evening of Excellence Award ceremony and dinner is also different this year in the way that normally we have it in the hotel, but we're taking it to a historic property in downtown Kansas City, the Bower, where they have taken this beautiful building and turned it into a venue that everybody can enjoy. And so we will begin with a little reception at 6 o'clock. And then the program will start about 6:30 with introductions and others, and then we'll start eating shortly after that. This you do need to find your own transportation too. So if you are staying at the hotel, I'd recommend maybe just Ubering over there, but we will be giving you a map. Logan and Stacy and Jesse will have maps at registration to show you where there is parking available at the Bower, because there is quite a bit of parking. Parking lots around, they're small, but there is parking within just a few blocks. Some of them within, right there, real close, within a block. But there's a lot of parking. But if you want to have some alcoholic beverages and not worry about parking, I would just say Uber in and Uber out. But looking forward to showcasing great projects that night and having a 4-course meal. And there will be a cash bar there. The attire is semi-formal. And it's going to be great fun, great food, and a great venue. And it also, the Evening of Excellence is sponsored by Commerce Bank and Greater St. Louis, Inc. this year.
We do want to take a little bit of time and thank our community sponsors who have sponsored the VIP tables: Cape Girardeau, Excelsior Springs, Joplin, Liberty, Lee Summit, Warrensburg, and Washington. And last but not least, we'll mention the winners of the raffle will be announced at the Evening of Excellence. So those of you who buy the raffle throughout the conference, you don't have to attend the Evening of Excellence to receive that prize, but it'll be announced that evening. So you may get texts from friends of, hey, you just won this prize, if they're in attendance and you aren't. But we'll have those available to be picked up. On the tickets we can put your phone number and how to contact you to get you those prizes you win if you're not in attendance that evening.
Yeah, and if you win that community, what are we calling it?
Community Nook.
Community Nook.
Community Nook.
I keep forgetting Nook. I want to call it the little library, but it's more than that. But if you win, just like with the big chair last year, it does have to be removed the next day, by Friday. We could potentially make arrangements for Saturday morning, but it does have to be removed from the property there. We don't have the ability to take it back and store it.
With that, we're going to move to last remarks. A couple of things we wanted to highlight. Hotel parking. Just as we said earlier, if you are wanting to park your car at the Kansas City Marriott Country Club, those who are staying and are hotel guests, you can park in the self-parking and get a parking pass from the hotel front desk. Again, that's if you're a hotel guest of Kansas City Marriott Country Club Plaza. Stop by the front desk of the hotel and pick up a parking pass. If you're a conference attendee that is just staying for the day, you drove in from a different hotel or from a community in the surrounding area, stop by registration after parking and self-parking and pick up a parking pass. Both of these are only for self-parking, so please make sure to park in self-parking. If you are parking your car at Embassy Suites and then walking over, that is $8 a day, like Kathy said earlier. Registration hours, we're located in Main Street Grill Foyer, Tuesday 9 to 6, Wednesday 7:30 to 5, and Thursday 7:30 to 4. Now we'll move on to your questions.
Okay, yeah, keep putting the questions in there. I've got a couple here already queued up, but if you have questions after now that we've completed the presentation, feel free to put those in there. So the first question is, if they can't make a session, because there are 4 going on at the same time, will the slides be available? And the answer is yes. We make every effort to get those presentations from the speakers, and then we share those afterwards through an email. We'll have a link to a folder where all of those presentations will be stored. So yes, those will be available. And then we have a question about, do you have to register or purchase a ticket for the deep dive? Logan, I'll turn that over to you.
Yes, so the deep dive is included if you bought a ticket for the full conference. That is the 3-day pass. Deep dive is included in that. It's kind of like the general session or an educational session in that component, which is covered under the full conference. If you bought a ticket for Wednesday or Thursday, one of the 1 days, it's not covered because those tickets are specifically for that singular day. The deep dive is $50. If you just want to come Tuesday and attend nothing else, that's perfectly fine. But again, if you purchase that ticket, that's for the full conference, it is included in that ticket.
Great. And then we had a question also about credentials for AICP and AIA, and we do not offer credentials for those, only for the IEDC. And then another question, Logan, this is registration related to, can someone attend the Evening of Excellence and not register for or attend other parts of the conference?
Yes, anyone is welcome to attend. So if you have a community member who is maybe a semifinalist or a friend of a semifinalist, or just a friend of a friend wants to come and have some fun while we celebrate the many amazing things that Missouri Main Streets have accomplished over this past year, they can definitely register. When you register on our website, there's an option just to do event only. You'll of course do step 1, 2, which is like your information, agreeing to our cancellation policy and other conference policies. And then once you get to where you're buying those tickets, it'll be an event only. Click that, move to the next step, and you can just purchase the tickets you want to attend.
Yeah, we have a lot of folks, particularly with the city, if they're not attending the conference, while we do have a lot of folks from cities attend the conference, but if they have a finalist in the Evening of Excellence Award and aren't attending the conference, they would be coming to the Evening of Excellence. So yes, we've got those capabilities. And then do we pre-register for the sessions or just show up? You just show up. We've got them all divided out into rooms that we feel have a good capacity, but of course, we always know some sessions are more popular than others. But we have tried to kind of push all, particularly the housing themes that we have, push those out so that they're not all at the same time. But yes, you just show up to your sessions. I would always have a backup just in case that room is full. Have a backup session. I know when I go to the national conference, I always do that because those rooms can fill up, and I always have a backup just in case I need to. And then are the deep dive and tours happening at the same time? Yes, they are. So giving folks on that first day as you're coming in and arriving something to do in the afternoon. So the deep dive would be one choice that you could choose starting at 2:30, or the one tour that still is available starts at 2:30 also. So those are your choices for that first day. Any other questions? Anything from our group that that popped into your head that we need to mention that we forgot?
I will throw out there, Keith mentioned a follow-up email to the conference that will have a Dropbox link folder for all the session materials. That that email will also come with a survey of just the overall conference. Just please let us know how we're doing, give us feedback. We always like to take that in. And in addition to that, you will also get a photo pass. It is a folder with just a collection of photos that have been taken throughout the conference. I try and put a wide variety of different moments for people to pick out, use in their press releases or in the social media that they have attended a conference. So it's just a really good collection of photos of maybe you will be in there, so you can grab those photos out of that folder with their photo pass included with your conference.
And I just thought of two things, Logan. I believe the rates are going to go up after tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, prices will go up. We've said it both ways, so we're extending it till tomorrow at 5 p.m. is when the prices will go up, just with how we've worded it. By the 18th until the 18th, we're extending it till the 18th at 5 p.m. So just
Okay.
so you know, if you want to add anything else,
Yeah.
5 p.m. tomorrow is when the prices will go up.
Yeah, and if you still have somebody in your community that's considering attending the conference tomorrow by 5, or those rates do go up to the on-site rate. Is that correct, Logan?
Correct.
Yep. And then, Logan, you're also sending out an email to all registrants about 10 things to know. So we want people to be looking for that, right? Kind of some
Yes.
last
What to
minute
know
stuff.
before you go.
Yes, what
Sometimes
to
it's
know
more than
before
10
you
things.
go. There may be more than 10 things. Parking will be reiterated on that, just so everyone knows. Our hotel has worked really closely with us to make sure that's a lot more seamless than it has been in the past. So it'll be a parking reminder and then a bunch of other things that you'll want to know before you arrive.
we always talk about weather. So,
Yes.
you know, right now in Kansas City, it's in the mid 80s. So I'm praying that it's going to be in the mid 80s the week we're here for the conference and not 110. But always, you know, think about those conference rooms being cold. I know that's one of the things on the things to know before you go email. Think about
Better.
that because those session rooms can get very cold, particularly when we've got lots of people in there. We drop the temperature, and so something to think about. One last question just came through real quick. Their ticket information, that's going to be all with their registration packet. Is that right, Logan?
Yes, so in your registration packet, really it's a padfolio, a beautiful padfolio we have designed for you guys, and then you'll also get a name badge, which will have your name, all the event tickets you have. The tickets are front back, except the drink tickets, and they have information about the location, time, what to wear, and all of that on those tickets.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you all very much. We can't wait to see you in Kansas City, welcoming you to the Kansas City Marriott Country Club Plaza on July 30th. So we'll see you very soon. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you. Look
Thank
forward to seeing
you.
you all.
Bye.